So the full trailer to Endwalker dropped recently, and you know what that means? We have our cinematic intro for the next expansion. That's right, the over-the-top eye candy that makes you want to sit at a title screen for hours until your senses overload. And with Endwalker sort of being the end of an era in the case of the current story, I decided to rewatch every intro over and over again, till everything was etched into memory to the point that all I could see when I sleep is Ardbert's pretty little frowny face. So with that said, I thought I might as well rank these babies in a bloody list, because why not? Everyone loves a good list, don't they? So here's my list of the top 6 Final Fantasy XIV cinematic intros. Starting with number 6, Stormblood. Now, question my taste as is your right, but Stormblood cinematic really rubs me the wrong way. It's essentially the black sheep of the family, with the only thing it has going for it is that it bigs up the jobs quite well. Monk Ardbert and Lisa's spar atop of the statue overlooking Ralga's Reach, the shockwaves making the water ripple like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park was taking tap dancing lessons, really gives the expansion's flagship job its much needed respect. And it also teases the samurai in one of the most anime cliche ways that you can't help but have a smile on your face. The main thing it lacks, however, is story and context, which is crucial to these cinematics. No cutbacks to events from the last expansion, which we had some great moments, nothing from the Empire outside of the little cameo on the freaking map. Oh, don't worry, there's the main threat of the series, but nah, let's see what Ardy Boy has gotten himself into. Literally, it's the only cinematic to not have any significant story elements in it. So, it has to go here. Number 5, the original. 1.0's cinematic, while fine, is nothing spectacular and takes a while to get into. We have two heroes of light bantering while a baby-faced Ardbert goes into what I can only think of is the Echo Flashbacks 14's exposition device, to which we then get a well-rounded fight with the series regular, Malboro. This fight does well in showing off the races and I guess what the classes themselves can do, though I'll admit Ardbert's fire arrow has to be there just for show, otherwise bards would be pissed. Honestly, nothing really stands out. The music used for this fight is just the regular battle music, and this would have been at the bottom if not for the second act. And while the slow music really doesn't fit the pace of the Empire facing off against Midgar-Zorma over Mordona, seeing the Great Wyvern sacrifice himself to bring the giant ship down, with the explosion of Aether creating the primals that we face in a Realm Reborn, is just marvellous, and really lifts the whole thing up. Then we cut back to the Adventurers Guild and yeah, let's just move on. Number 4, Endwalker. This might be harsh, but if Stormblood was no story, all action, then Endwalker is probably too much story and decent action. Bar a few really nice scenes, most people are either just standing, talking, or even both. We get a nice little Lawrence of Arabia throwback at the beginning, then go right into some action that shows off my new favourite healer, the one-winged cyber angel that is Sage. Oh, and Ardbert's a paladin now, really driving home that Final Fantasy IV inspiration for this expansion. There's also a nice Stardiver cameo from Estinian, all good and good. Then we get Big Daddy Xeno wielding his Big Daddy Scythe, showing off the Reaper job class, and I want it, I want it, I want it. It's just all that unnecessary fluff in between. And let's be honest, this is not the best showcase of a flagship job. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. Sure, we get the weird monster, the instant slash kill, Xenos narrating over the final bit, and Ardbert's pretty little smolder as he does, but again I feel all of this is taken away from him by the fact that we're on the f***ing moon. All in all, a good cinematic with just a little too much story / exposition, and not enough showcase. Number 3, Heaven's Ward. Okay, a bit of bias here, Endwalker on a whole probably should be on this spot, but I've been a Dragoon since day one, and when I found out a Realm Reborn's first expansion would have the Spear Boy as its flagship job, I elusive jumped for joy, and the cinematic didn't fail. showing the events from A Realm Reborn and Ardbert making his way to Corythus, all to this operatic vocals, was just a sensory bliss. And it only got better from there, with Nidhogg bursting in to take a flaming dump on our old Warrior of Light before he is saved by the best floor tanks in the world, once again giving the flagship its due. The next part is basically showing off the new world, which, if that's not a throwback to Final Fantasy IX's intro, I don't know what is. And we then go straight into the dragon threat looming and sinister plots in other lands as Ardbert forgoes his current job. And while the dragons and dragoons duke it out in the skies, the Azure Ardbert comes in, and this is all done to one of the best scores in Final Fantasy XIV. You literally get everything here: the feeling, the tone, the weight of the action, with no dialogue or narration whatsoever. It all works just so well. Still not as good as number 2, A Realm Reborn. To be honest, I think this is cheating, because we start things off with probably the best ends to a video game arc. It's no secret that 14 1.0 needed a revamp, and this was the way to do it. The music, the fire biblically raining down as the sky literally falls around us, Ardbert all kitted out in the warrior job alongside his crew, all now in their own jobs that would seal their places as NPCs years later. The moon not actually being a moon, but a seal for the King Big Drig Bahamut, unleashing an umbral calamity that would forever alter the land, which has never happened before. Ever. Dedicated fans of the original were getting an emotional farewell to their former allies, and new fans were marvelling at the sensory buffet before them, and then all fades to white. Then the intro technically starts, which is a lot of nonsense. Bannerman riding chocobos, Odin's there, which is pretty cool. Oh look, there's Behemoth. Oh, and let's not mention the tower you don't actually get to go till the end of the main story. Then we finish with the Warriors of Light arriving to wherever Louis Schwa teleported them to, years into the future or whatever, I don't know, I came on a cart. And yeah, A Realm Reborn. Absolute epicness that was so good the lameness can't take too much from it. Except the top spot. Which we can all agree probably not, but this all goes to number 1, Shadowbringers. Did I also mention I'm an edgelord? No? Oh well, doesn't matter. Nothing really matters. But God, this cinematic is good. We get a samurai showdown between Ardbert and the Big Daddy Xenos, which is the best way to kick off a trailer ever, with the clouds parting, Xenos going to the knee, cutting to black, and showing Ardbert walking in a wasteland in his baby first Ardbert gear from 1.0. One trash-talking gremlin and a freaking angel later, we have one of the best action scenes in the series, going through each flagship job that has come before it. We get world building and storytelling, a great showcase of the new job, Gunbreaker. Dance is also there too, and this all breaks up the action of the Ardbert fight at the right time as to not have us overindulge on the badassery. And to finish it all off, Ardbert goes full darkness mode and obliterates Mr. Angel while also cutting the sky in half. Then that pose into the title card. Honestly, you can't do better than this. This just ticks every mark. The right amount of action, the right amount of storytelling, the right amount of world building and showcases, all alongside a theme that just keeps building and building the hype. It's just that good. And that is it for the list. What was your favourite cinematic? Let me know in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next list. But before I go, why don't you star dive that like and subscribe button alongside that little bell thingy to keep yourselves up to date on when my next video is out. And until that day, this has been Techno Odin. Stay safe, claim skulls, and take care.